All right, this the news, this the news, this the news. Breaking news. 10,000 people arrested in 5 days. That's right. 10,000 arrested in 5 days. This is an open discussion to see what you think about this breaking news. Now, this is absolutely surprising, I guess would be the best word. And from what I understand, ICE just got some more funds. So I'm expecting to see a lot of people get deported. Lots of Venezuelans, lots of Haitians, Syrians, and others that are targeting or being targeted to be put out of the country. Now, I got an opinion about this, and I only talk about that stuff during open discussions. This is an open discussion. So, this is the news along with an open discussion. So, be prepared to chime in if you have something to say about this. Let's look at the details. Here we go. Immigration and Custom Enforcement arrested 10,000 people over a 5 day period at the end of June. Marking a major push by the agency tasked with carrying out the Trump administration's mass deportation agenda. The arrest numbers obtained from a person familiar with the information who spoke anonymously to discuss data that has not been publicly released comes after the agency shifted its approach from high-profile arrests, sweeps in major American cities to quieter ways to reach President Donald Trump's deportation goal. The figure indicates that while the administration is no longer cracking down on individual cities, the arrests continue and are surging. The total number of arrests during the 5 day period, starting Friday and ending Tuesday, translates into roughly 2,000 arrests per day. It was not clear where the arrest had taken place. Immigration and Customs Enforcement arrested 10,000 people over a 5 day period at the end of June. Marking a major push by the agency tasked with carrying out Trump's administration's mass deportation agenda. The arrest numbers obtained from a person familiar with the information who spoke anonymously to discuss data that has not been publicly released comes after the agency shifted its approach from high-profile arrest sweeps in major American cities to quieter ways to reach President Donald Trump's deportation goals. The figures indicate that while the administration is no longer cracking down on individual cities, the arrests continue and are surging. The total number of arrests during the 5 day period starting Friday and ending Tuesday translated to roughly 2,000 arrests per day. It was not clear where the arrests had taken place. The massive nationwide enforcement serve that detained 10,000 people took place across multiple states and cities. Reports indicate heightened enforcement activity in Los Angeles, San Diego, Houston, Dallas, McAllen, Brownsville, New York City, Newark, Passaic, Plainfield, Milwaukee, Waukesha, Nashville, Charlotte, Chicago, and Minneapolis. Instead of relying on previous high visible public suites, ICE targeted people doing traffic stops at workplaces and public spaces and doing mandatory check ins at field offices. So it's really going down. It's not a joke. They are moving quickly. As long as we get the Somalis and other thugs that are stealing from U.S. citizens out of here, that's a good thing. Hopefully, they target the Europeans just as much as they're targeting the others, because there's a lot of illegal Europeans in the country. Less competition from kindergarten to adults, brutal economics, Black America's FBA. There is nothing we can do about it. Not our problem. Take all the money that was stolen in Minnesota, and that would have been a good start for our reparations. Very good point. Good. Get them out of here. Tens of thousands in one day, Sparrow, they're going to get all them tethers out of here. Very good news. Bad news for the Democratic Party. So we're going to have that open discussion. You know, that's the direction I'm looking. I'm looking at the Democratic Party. And if lots of Americans are happy about this, no Democratic president will win the next election. It won't happen. It won't happen. The Democrats are looking, it's not looking good because many foundational Black Americans, many whites are not going to vote for a president that is going to let illegal immigrants back in the country. Now, this comes at a very interesting time because many African countries are having a catastrophe with illegal immigrants, especially South Africa. South Africa is not only having problems with Ghanaians and Nigerians and South Africa. No, there's a couple other groups I forgot offhand. But they're also having problems with Middle Easterners and some Asian countries where they're coming in exploiting. They're doing all type of underground activities. They're taking over shops. They're even paying illegal Africans to do hits on people that complain about their businesses. They're selling rotten meat, old meat, all type of things. So South Africa is having a crazy hard time with the illegals. Some of these from these Asian countries and Middle Eastern countries, they're booking flights to like Europe or something that has a layover in South Africa. And when the layover happens in South Africa, they're jumping off the planes in South Africa and they staying illegally. And South Africa's having a crazy problem with immigration. So you can see what we're going through in the United States. We're trying not to get in a position South Africa's in. Africa is going to have to send everybody home and start over again. That's what's going to have to happen in Africa. They're going to have to sweep. They're going to have to sweep all those countries out and start over because they got people that really don't mean the black Africans no good. And so that's 10,000 migrants. And what they're doing is when Holman took that little break while he was dealing with his situation, they had the little short guy for ICE in there, right? And this is the news, G-Rod. This the news. So it's a news broadcast. So when Holman came back, if you remember what they were doing, they were coming to town with military vehicles and everything and making a lot of noise and saying, hey, ICE is in town. They're not doing that anymore. Now they're doing sneak attacks. They're not making no grandstanding anymore. They set the little short guy down. That got sloppy. The lady got unalived in Minneapolis, in Minnesota. So now they are doing sneak attacks. For sure. All of that stuff will be confiscated and auctioned off. Some of it would be refitted to be used to pick up more immigrants. They'll become ICE vehicles. I can tell you what's up with them. And so they're rounding them up, and I mean they're stopping them at traffic lights, they're grabbing them at church, they're grabbing them at a store. They're not letting them know they're coming. Solve sneak attacks. All right? All sneak attacks, which I think is absolutely great. Get them out of here. Because you still have to come in legally. And when you let people come in illegally and your child gets kidnapped or your daughter gets kidnapped, they could be anywhere in the world. That can open up human trafficking, all type of substances being sold. So anybody that's cool with people being in the country without knowing who the hell they are is slow. No one wants people in the country and nobody knows who they are. This is where the Democratic Party and people that support illegal immigrants, you have to think some of those people are criminals. Some of those people are the ones that want them to come to make the money because there's no sane person wants to go outside and there's people there with no identification at all. That no matter what they do, now the police can't even help you because nobody even knows who it is. So they could break in, they could do something to your mother, they could do something to your wife, your children, and that there's not a clue who this is. So there's absolutely something wrong with you. if you support illegal immigration. I would say that if I was in some type of uh, power with law enforcement and I seen you support illegal immigration, I would definitely arrest you for questioning. I would want to talk to you. That I would definitely need to talk to you because I would want to understand, are you just saying this because you believe it's righteous, or are you a criminal? And are you benefiting? For sure, I'd grab you. Because I would look at you either way as an enemy. Yeah, I would definitely look at you as an enemy. I would also, and if you wasn't, I would look, yeah, serious because you're not going to just let anybody in your home. So anytime I see you promoting something for the country that you won't do in your house, I need to talk to you. Because I know you can't come in my house and just live and I don't know who you are. And so people that support illegal immigration are phony. They're supporting something they wouldn't do personally, and probably criminals. If there's any other thing, anarchists, someone that is promoting anarchy. And we do have lots of anarchists in this country. The FBI has been looking into that because that just that's just ridiculous. It's like if you came over here and you said they should leave the people alone. I would just look at you as I wouldn't even respond. I would look at you as totally ridiculous. I wouldn't consider you having any type of intelligence or you're a criminal. It has to be one or the other because that makes no sense. You have to have an ID to drive a car. So how could you go in come in a whole country and move around without an ID? Come on. Show me what you can do in this country. Can you go to the library and get a library book without a library card? So how you gonna come in the country without, you know what I'm saying? You can't even get a library card. Get a book out to the library without a library card. And you probably can't get a library card without an ID. So that means some things are just totally ridiculous, okay? To my subscribers, never show any support for anything illegal, okay? You're just asking. You're asking for trouble. Don't say I didn't help you. If you're one of my subscribers and you see it's something that the government doesn't like, why would you come over here with your IP address and let the federal government know and that you agree with what they call criminal? Duh. Ruh. What's wrong with you? You think this is a joke? You think they don't know where you are? You think they won't take that very seriously? You're 100% absolutely right. We can't get nothing. Lindsay, we can't get a thing. We've got to go jump through loops and everything. And we're citizens. Listen, there's black Americans, there's white Americans, and there's some Chinese Americans that have been here from back before the railroad was built. We can't get nothing. We have to go through all types of loops to get anything. And the idea that you can come here from Africa or somewhere, I've never liked that. I've never liked that immigrants can come here and open stores and don't have to pay taxes for 7 years. They need to get rid of that. They want to open a store, they got to pay taxes because what's been going on in Chicago was immigrants will come. They will open a store. They don't have to pay taxes for 7 years. When the 7 years is up, they give the store to a relative, rename the store. Now the relative get another 7 years. Then they give it to another relative another 7 years. So they basically be in Chicago making money hand over fist, no taxes, while the American citizens with the store right next door to them is paying mad taxes. So the people paying taxes don't have as much reinvestment money as some immigrants. This is why people don't like immigrants. Nowhere in the world, really. Countries that got a lot of immigrants that go to other countries don't like immigrants in the country they left from because the governments have done a horrible job with immigrants. There should be nothing special for immigrants. You got to come and work just like everybody else. It reminds me when I was in LA. And I used to sell incense and went to Hawaii, and then my queen came, got pregnant, couldn't come back, right? And so when I come to LA, when I come back, I try to sell my incense, but they didn't crack down. So I'm looking for a job, right? So when I get the newspaper looking for a job, all I see is Koreans, Korean jobs, Koreans, come here, job, Korean. There was all these opportunities and ways you can get these jobs from these Koreans. And it's not all on purpose, Jay. It's not all on purpose. That's not true. Yeah, that's not true. Let me tell y'all what's really going on. This is not on purpose. What's going on is y'all ever watched The Wizard of Oz? In the original Wizard of Oz, there was this big old Oz. It was like, I'm the wizard and all that. But at the end, it was a little guy making the machine make all this noise. And what's really going on? You're right, there is a conspiracy, but this is the conspiracy. They don't want to tell you that they can't see everything like they make you think. They don't know what's going on. Most people will say, oh, they're letting them do it. Listen, that's not true. They cannot watch the country. They got you under this illusion that Big Brother's watching. That's another one. Have you read the book 1984? In the book, in 1984, same thing. They had these people, they say, Big Brother's watching you, Big Brother's watching. They had everybody scared. And at the end of the book, come to find out, nobody was watching nobody. They had you believing Big Brother was watching you, so you ended up watching yourself. You ended up policing yourself because you really believed they was watching you. And they had the people believing in this whole society they live in, that the whole world was like that. And at the end, when the people left, the rest of the world was free, except that area where they had them at. And that's what's pretty much going on in the United States. They make you think they can see everything. They don't know who the hell's in this country. All right, get some rest. They don't know who's in this country. That's a fact. So it's a great thing that Donald Trump's trying to find out who's in here and get them out of here. Because When they were trying to apprehend people crossing the border, they got a lot of Hispanics, Venezuelans and stuff. But there were times where they grabbed Chinese. And when they grabbed these Chinese, the Chinese would have $5,000 US cash on them, $10,000 US cash on them. Also, the federal government have reported that when Hispanics get in the country, they can find them and track them. But they're saying once the Chinese get in the country, they disappear. There is a whole lot of Chinese in this country that the government does not know where they are at. Real talk. Look, they saying what I'm saying not true. They saying what I'm saying is not true. Why they seem to disappear, surrendering to authorities, unlike historical trends of evading capture. The vast majority of Chinese migrants crossing the southern border actively seek out U.S. Border Patrol agents to surrender and immediately claim asylum. Okay, and they claim asylum, and where are they? Where do they actually go? Enclaves and community. After their release, many travel to large cities with established Chinese communities. Released from where? See, such as New York, Los Angeles, where family networks or informal employers help them find housing and work. Y'all believe that? Look, y'all believe that? Do that sound right? Look, undocumented Chinese immigrants do not vanish into thin air. Rather, they generally enter the U.S. asylum system or integrate into informal economies within existing diaspora communities. What do you mean integrate into informal economies? Are y'all reading this? Well, what does that mean? What is informal economies? Oh. Informal economy is often called a shadow or underground economy. Consists of economic activity, enterprise, and jobs that operate outside government. You see how they just spent us? They say Chinese migrants do not just vanish into thin air. Then over here, whoa, they say the opposite. Say the informal economy, often called a shadow. That means disappear. Or underground economy. That means they disappear. Consists of economic activities, enterprise, and jobs that operate outside government regulation, taxation, and formal legal frameworks. It accounts for an estimated 60% of the global workforce and generates trillions of dollars annually in untaxed, unrecorded economic value. Yet over here, do y'all see this? Yet over here it says undocumented immigrants, they don't just vanish into thin air. Rather, they generally enter the U.S. asylum system or integrate into informal economies within existing diaspora communities. So they either go to U.S. asylum systems or vanish. It said undocumented immigrants don't vanish, but they enter into informal economies, which we just read shadow or underground economies. So a informal economy is a shadow underground economy. That means they vanish. Y'all see this here? You, that's another thing. That's another thing. Double top. Also in the book 1984, they talk about double top. That's what that just was. That was double speak, double talk. That's deep, boy. Oof. So, with all these arrests going on, I bet you they ain't grabbing no Chinese. I bet you out of that 10,000, I bet you none of them was no Chinese. I bet you that. And so it's fair to say there's going to be lots and lots and lots of immigrants deported between here and the next election. And that's a real smart move for the Republican Party because many of us, nobody's going to vote for you to let immigrants back in. And that's going to be the appearance of Democrats. Democrats, I don't think they have a chance to win the next presidency because it's going to be the fear that after all this work is done to put out all these immigrants, the Democrats going to let them right back in. The Democrats have a horrible reputation of leaving the borders open. The only Democrat that closed the borders down recently was Barack Obama. Joe Biden got in there and opened it right back up. Opened the border right back up. And Joe Biden may have damaged the Democratic Party for a long time. because I can speak for Black Americans. We don't really like immigrants because we've been fighting hard to get what we deserve in this country, and we feel that immigrants are cutting the line. We don't really like them, not personally, but socially. We just don't. We don't like. We don't like immigration because immigration definitely works against us. And I think I think the black immigrants, I think they just messed. I really think they messed up. They totally blew it. Their numbers are gonna go way down. They're gonna throw out a whole bunch of blacks. I don't know. I mean, I don't. I guess I kind of understand. Maybe it's like black immigrants. They've been used to going to other countries, so when they came to America, they came the same way they go to other countries. I don't think they understood the black American. They didn't understand black Americans. Like this ain't other countries. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what you can do in other countries, you can't do that here. It's just not. It's not gonna work. The only way that because America is has a lot of racism, and so foundational Black Americans, we've learned how to work and function around the racism. And so you put it to you like that: you got racism in the country, then we come into the country like that, and they got the clamp on us, we slaves and all that. So we opened up and been pushing to open up the racism, right? So now the best thing for black immigrants was to do was to come lock in with this to push the racism more open. But what the black immigrants did was create another little ball here. So this is us fighting the racism. This is black immigrants. So then the racism say, okay, it's too hard with the black Americans. Let's just go eat up the black immigrants. They're gonna dog the black immigrants. Black immigrants in the United States, within the next 2 years, they're gonna get decimated under the Republicans. Because they like went and sat out on the island and put themselves at the mercy of racism by themselves. So they're an easy target. And what they really don't understand, what black immigrants don't understand is that you're going to get treated worse than an Asian or Hispanic immigrant. White immigrants going to kind of get a pass because it can help their birth rate. The birth rate is kind of messed up. But like a black immigrant, Jesus Christ. Man, you blink, and by January, February, it won't be a Haitian nowhere. As soon as they get through with the Haitians, they're gonna turn their sights on the Africans, the Somalians up there. And if I was an African immigrant from like any other country, boy, I would not like Somalians. I'm like, thanks a lot. You know what I'm saying? The hell y'all do that for? They're gonna go after the blacks. They're gonna go after. It's gonna be the Haitians, Somalians. Then they're gonna turn on the Jamaicans, and they're gonna turn on the other Africans. The only Africans that'll be safe is the ones that really did get citizenship and got children and kind of stable. They'll be kind of safe. But I don't know. Their strategy. It's not like I could. It's not like I feel like they made the wrong strategy. I think that I just feel like Africans didn't know. It's not like, oh, y'all came and y'all did it wrong. No, y'all came and didn't really know what to do. It's better. Wait, y'all didn't really, you didn't know what you was getting yourself into. America is very different. This is not England. This is not Ireland. It's real different. The Trinidadians, it's not enough of them to just be openly targeted that quickly. They're going to go for the bigger numbers first: Jamaicans, Haitians, Nigerians. Yeah, they did. Yeah, G-Rod can't be mad at them because how the hell they know? You know what I'm saying? They are international and they feel like, oh, it's international. It's just like anywhere else. It's just like when we go to Denmark. It's just like when we go to, because America is a one of a kind. There's nowhere else like America. There's nowhere else that had the slavery like that and the civil rights movement like that. Yeah, Nigerians, it's a lot of them. They definitely gonna get targeted. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt. And so a lot of the black Africans, I can't. I'm not. I don't think they. I don't think they made a mistake. You know, how, like you make a mistake. I just think they didn't know the move to make. To move like Chicago's, like to come into Chicago, marry in with Black Americans, work with Black Americans, run for office like in Chicago. So we'd have some Ghanaians, some Nigerians on the city council, but they're Black American Nigerians. They're not Nigerian Nigerians. You can't America. You can't fence straddle in America. You got to go all in or go home. So in America, you can't be a Mexican in America and try to push Mexico. You're gonna get thrown out. And when you're a Mexican, you come to the United States, you got to be a Mexican American. You can't be no Mexican Mexican. They're gonna throw your ass out. Here you got to be American. They got to see it's America. You can't have no allegiance to the country you left because that's disrespect. Because they're like, well, if you love your country so much, get your ass out of here, which is rightfully so. That's what I don't like about immigrants. I don't like immigrants. Like when I see them Mexicans with all those Mexican flags, to me it's total disrespect. Because why would you come to America and just wave Mexican flags? Like that's disrespect. Like you should have stayed at home. Like you're not an American. You're a Mexican. Get out. So I think a lot of immigrants waving them damn flags, they're going to get thrown out. See, tomorrow, you know what flag Foundation of Black Americans is going to be waving? Red, white, and blue. Tomorrow, Foundation of Black Americans is going to have on red, white, and blue. Trust me on that. They're going to be red, white, and blue from the head to the toe. So that's what we are. So that's why we don't get along with immigrants, because you ain't no American. You a tether because you want to come and eat off America and still be a Nigerian. You want to come eat off America and still be not Ethiopian. You want to come eat off America and still be Jamaican. You're not an American. You're a tether. You just want what you can get from America. You're not an American. We can't count on you. In times of war and stuff, you're going to run, and we got to do the fighting. And then you wait till the fighting is done, then you try to bring your ass back. Whereas if we go to war, Black Americans, we got to go, because this is where we live at. And Black immigrants don't live here. They're just visiting. They don't live here. So we live here. There is nowhere to go for us. This is why we fight so hard against white supremacists, and this is why white supremacists can't overpower us. Because we fight hard, because it ain't no damn where to go. So you better go sit your ass down in Tennessee or wherever you at and stop playing with us. We don't care nothing about your Confederate flag. We with the smoke. That's the difference. So anytime there's somebody that got somewhere to run to, you can't trust them. You can't trust no. They don't compare to nobody, don't got nowhere to go. That's the difference between Foundation of Black Americans and all the other blacks. All the other blacks, they'll run. Just like they ran their ass over here. The same way it got tough in the motherland in the Caribbean and they ran, it's the same way if it get tough up here, they're going to run. They're going to run. Whereas us, there's nowhere to run. And them other blacks ain't going to provide nowhere for us to run. Nobody want to talk about that part. The other blacks, they won't provide no sanctuary for us. That's a fact. Your state, Tennessee, tripping over what? What you talking about? Shout out. All right, man. It's with Pooh Shiesty, it's going crazy. The Pakistani should ban you. Should see this video and ban you from ever entering the country. Include, brother. Listen, I would never go over there with y'all. They ain't got to ban me. I ain't coming. They ain't got to ban me. I'm not going no damn Pakistan, bro. What I look like? You look like I'll ever go? I'll never go over there. Facts. Why would I go to a country that's heavily racist? Okay? Heavily racist in those type of countries. That's a fact. And if I did come over there, I'd be coming to do you dirty. I wouldn't be coming as a friend. I'd be coming as a conqueror. Yeah, if I did come, I'll be coming like Hannibal. I'm just saying. So it wouldn't be about banning me. It'd be like, what's your war skills like? I'm just saying, I'm not pushing violence. I'm just saying, maybe I wouldn't even come friendly. You assuming I would try to come. You assuming I would even try to come friendly. Listen, it's so serious. I don't even want your ass over here. Get the hell out of here. If I come to Pakistan, bruh, Bruh, ain't no way I'm going no goddamn Pakistan. If I got to go somewhere, I'm going to Africa. I ain't going no Pakistan. Pakistan? What the hell is he talking about? Bro, I'm black. Okay. If I just have to go somewhere, I'll go to Africa. We'll figure it out. If I'm gonna have some problems, it's gonna be with some black people. It ain't gonna be with y'all. Pakistan, bruh, let me tell you something. The natural disasters is finna wipe y'all out. So I definitely wouldn't go over there with the mudslides and stuff coming your way anyway. You're gonna be begging us for aid. Pakistan. Why would I go to Pakistan when y'all running to Africa, scamming in Africa? Bruh, stop. Pakistanis is running to Africa scamming, going to Africa broke and running scams to try to come up and get some money. Y'all the ones got to leave Pakistan to get some money. How you gonna send it to Pakistan? Bro, get your ass out. You better pack your stand. Bruh, pack your stand. Okay? Bruh, go pack your stand. That's what you do. Go pack your stand. You know what I'm saying? Go pack it up. You know what I'm saying? Pakistan. What? He said go tell Pakistan so when I come over there. What the hell? Bro, shut your goofy ass up. He said when I come to Pakistan. Boy, we come to Pakistan, we stepping on shit. Pakistan. What the hell is you talking about? Now I wouldn't mind having one of them ladies with the bells on and stuff to be dancing. Ooh, I'll knock one of them back, have me a little Blackistanian, you know what I'm saying? I'll have me a little Blackistanian. But once Big Pharaoh hit it, she ain't gonna listen to you no more. She ain't gonna listen to you no more. Once I give her a little Blackistanian, she gonna be that. You know, shout out to all the people in Pakistan. I'm just saying, you know, Pacquiao stand. Like that's not the first choice. Uh, 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 Pakistan, not the. Hey, bro, if I gotta go somewhere, listen. If I gotta go somewhere, and this is the list. Let me show you. Let me show you the list. This is the list. I want to go somewhere, right? I got oil all over my stuff. I gotta go somewhere, and this is the list. And here's Pakistan, somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Pakistan is down on the edge, bro. I'm super desperate if I pack my stand. Well, if I go to Pakistan, it's bad because Bali has a lot of places come before y'all. I don't even know if I would have wrote you on the list. I ain't gonna lie. I would have forgot y'all. Because I ain't trying to go to India or Pakistan. That's a fact. I ain't trying to go there. And I ain't trying to go to China either because they get mad and I'm out of here. Yeah, I'm trying to go somewhere where I got a chance. So before I go there, I go to the Caribbean. I ain't lying. Before I go there, I go to Brazil. I go where the black folks. I go to Brazil, Pakistan. But I ain't trying to go to Pakistan or Iran, Iraq. What is he talking about? Iraq. I don't rock. So I definitely ain't going to Iraq because I don't rock. I don't rock. And Iran, one thing you'll never be able to say, I ran to Iran. Oh, yeah. You'll never be able to say that I ran to Iran. You might be able to say I ran somewhere, but you'll never say I ran to Iran. I don't know why they named it Iran because I ain't running to there. I'm gonna just keep it real. You'll never say Iran to Iran. They way at the bottom of the list. They way, way, way at the bottom of the list. Iran, Pakistan. Boy, hey, I'm in Nigeria, Ghana, Ethiopia. I can name a whole body. Hey, G-Rock, Nigeria's way ahead of Iran. What are you talking about? I can go to Nigeria. All I got to do is get a crew, get in with some of the brothers, then I'm good. That's how the black folks go. All I got to do is go to Nigeria, find a spot where they accept me in that spot. Boom, I'm over there with Boom Day and Dada. Boom, I'm popping. I can get in real good in Africa. With black folks, all you got to do is get a crew with black folks. See, with black folks, all you got to do is be one of the guys. Am I lying, G-Rock? With black folks, all you got to, like G-Rock come to Chicago, he live on the block, he stand outside with us, he'll just be one of the guys on the block. That's a fact. Everybody know G-Rock. What up, G-Rock? That's how black people get out. G-Rock move on the block. He move in, he be quiet at first. Then he start talking to one neighbor, two neighbors. Then they start sitting on the porch talking about their grass and stuff. And next you know, G-Rock, he's G-Rock. Everybody know G-Rock. He one of the guys. This how black folks is. That's how black, am I lying, G-Rock? G-Rock come to Chicago, he won't have no problem. He be one of the guys. He can move right in the black neighborhood. He won't have no problem. All he got to do is tell his son, don't get mad, they're going to talk crazy. That's all you got to do is tell his son, listen, don't pay no attention, they kids. And what's going to happen, let's say in the third grade, the kid's going to mess with him. Then the fourth grade, he going to be one of the guys. By the fifth grade, they say, yeah, remember you was in third grade, we used to tease you? By the time he get in the eighth grade, his son is, he's one of them. He's one of us. He just got to not pay no attention to the kids. The kids. You can't listen to the kids. You can't listen to the kids. For y'all black immigrants, when y'all come to America, don't listen to the kids. Don't pay no attention to the kids. They're kids. They're going to tease your kid. But that's, in black America, that's your rite of passage in black America. It's weird, but that's how we do. We diss each other as kids in black America. Your rite of passage is getting dissed and dissing back. It's a weird culture. That's what we do. The harder the diss, the tighter we is. So if I got a good African friend and we going back, oh man, shut your African ass up. That's what I'm gonna tell him. Because that's my boy. Like we don't he gonna say all kind of stuff. Because in America, the more worse stuff you can say, that means the closer you are. Basically. Basically, that's the rite of passage. Because I got a lot of immigrant friends, black immigrant friends, and that was they was asking me, man, that Pharaoh, they teasing my kid. And I tell them, tease your kid, tease them back. That's all. Your son got to learn how to signify. You understand? Yeah, your son, you gotta learn how to signify. You don't get no nothing. You don't get no pass over here. Whether you African, Black American, whatever, you go to school, it's up. And Lord have mercy if I wear the wrong shoes or wear something and give them some ammunition. It's over with. It's over with for about 2 weeks. If I wear the wrong shoes, they don't give a damn because I'm no black American or I live over there. They don't care. I can't go there with them shoes on. It's over with. Now you a little weird. You's a little weirdo. You're a little weird. Yeah, you're a little weird. I noticed that. You're a little weird, uh, in love or whatever your name is. You're a little weird. I noticed that. You're a little weird. I suspect you somebody. I don't believe you know black America. I don't know what you is. I don't know what you is, but I suspect you something weird. He said the dozens is the curse of slavery. And you get what is he talking? He's talking. What is he talking? Crazy. The curse of slavery would have had to get passed down from slavery. The dozens was invented in the 70s. What is he talking about? That's new. That's all new. My daddy and them generation, they didn't diss each other. See, this how you can tell people that not really from here and don't know what they talking about. Cracking on each other didn't exist. If cracking on each other was from slavery, it would have been going on all the time. Cracking on each other started around the Richard Pryor era. There wasn't no such thing as that. That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. My daddy and them didn't do that. My mom and daddy and them, my uncles and them didn't do that. I don't know where people be getting their information from. Where they be getting their information from? As a matter of fact, when I went to school, the older boys didn't even do it. Like when I was like in the sixth grade, eighth graders didn't do that. Even the use of the N word, my generation started that. They wasn't really saying that older than me. That wasn't popular to us. We didn't want to do that. Real talk. It's real history. Because we was the youngest ones to listen to Richard Pryor. Everybody else that was listening to Richard Pryor was older. We was the youngest Richard Pryor fans. Seriously. We was the first kids listening to Richard Pryor. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause Richard Pryor and them and Red Fox and them was for adults. My generation was the first kids to listen to like Richard Pryor. That's something kids never you would listen to stuff like that. Like my mom and them listen to Moms Mabley and Red Fox and that. But that was strictly adults. No kids was listening to stuff like that. My generation was the first ones that was young and listening to that type of stuff. Because before my generation, kids didn't have access to record players and stuff like that. My generation, the kids had all the record players, right? So I bought all these records as a kid, high school. See, my mom and them, you didn't buy records until like they get out the military and they was buying records. They weren't buying no records in no, it wasn't no freshmen and seventh and eighth graders buying no records. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, real history. Wasn't no kids buying no records. My generation, the first generation, to buy like albums and stuff like that. The older generation that bought records, they would buy 45s, but they would be closer to 19, 20, like that. They would buy them as teenagers, but more like 17, 18, 19. They be doing a twist, right? They wasn't buying records like us in grade school. We was buying records in grade school. That was unheard of. Wasn't nobody buying no records in the fifth, sixth grade. We the first ones buying 45s in the sixth grade, fifth grade. We the first generation to have money that young too. Kids didn't have no money. I mean, they had a little money to get bubble gum stuff. We had money. We had like grown people money when I was a kid. So that was the difference. A lot of that stuff is new. From the transistor radio with the white thing in your ear. The transistor radio, the white thing in your ear when I was a real little boy. So yeah, that's what's going on. That's what's going on with the situation with ICE. They're going to be grabbing a whole lot of people. I blame the Biden administration for that. Joe Biden shouldn't have never been. Joe Biden shouldn't have never been president that long. Joe Biden shouldn't have been in office nothing but like 9 months. As soon as they seen that he wasn't there and that his mind wasn't there, they should have got Joe Biden out. Joe Biden has destroyed the Democratic Party. Seriously. Because Joe Biden was the one that had to be asleep from. He can only be up from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and he was asleep. So nobody was minding the store. Remember, Barack Obama put all them immigrants out and he was complaining he had them in cages and all that? Remember? See, Barack Obama, they didn't like that, how he was throwing immigrants out by the thousands. Biden got right back, let them right back in. Trump was building the wall, and then Biden got in there and just said, stop building it. Like he's some kind of agent or something. Why would you stop building the wall? And, usually a president honored the last president. So if the last president started, if you're an American citizen and Trump started building the wall, you would get in there and say, I'm going to continue building the wall. No, he get his weird ass in there and just let all that money go to the drain. All the materials for the wall was just laying by the border. Did you know that? Biden just left the materials laying on the ground. Oh, my soul. So that's what Trump going to be winning at, throwing out immigrants. Because a lot of Americans, we don't like all these immigrants. If you bring immigrants into a country, you got to take care of the citizens. You can't neglect the citizens and then bring in new citizens because the new citizens going to pay. You got to take care of your long-term American citizens. You can't bring in immigrants and give them all type of stuff while American citizens struggling. Yeah, I believe that was their plan. I believe their plan was we don't want to have to keep catering to blacks. Let's bring in a bunch of Asians and Hispanics so we don't got to cater to blacks. I believe that. I definitely believe that. I believe that the Democrats was trying to replace us. Definitely. They turned on us. They got tired of being beholden to our vote. They couldn't get no white vote like as much as they wanted. So they said, we got to get some more votes somewhere. Because we can't keep just depending on the few white votes and these black votes. The hell with these black people. We need to bring in some Hispanic and Asian people, so we don't gotta do nothing for these black people because the Democrats were still racist. They were still white. They had different ideologies than the white Republicans, but they was racist still. Joe Biden was a known racist. He was only right. She was only right. Joe Biden was only the president because Obama was too young. They said he didn't have enough experience. Kamala Harris was never president. What the hell are you talking about? And Kamala didn't bring nobody in here. She wasn't never president. People just be. He said Kamala Harris did the same thing. Bro, what's wrong with you? Kamala Harris was never the president. She was just the vice president. What the hell? Okay. He said Kamala. He called her Pamela Harris did the same thing, and she didn't win. She wasn't never. Oh my God! She couldn't bring in nobody, but she was only the vice president. What? 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 You mean she was going to do the same thing if she won? I guess you're trying to say. What kind of policies did Kamala have? None. She was the vice president. What the hell? Bro, she didn't have no policies. What? He said Pamela Harris did the same thing. Much respect, though, bro. But please, for this internet is something else. Kamala Harris didn't do nothing. She was the vice president, bro. She ain't had no policies. What the hell? She ain't had no policies, bro. What the hell? The vice president don't do nothing but make speeches and wave, and is only there in case something happened to the president to take over. That's it. The vice president don't do nothing. The vice president is just an emergency replacement in case something happened to the president. That's it. They don't got no policy. That's a whole nother video. How we got to teach young Americans politics because they really don't know, and we see old ones don't either. Because dude looked like he was old as dirt. He said Pamela. He said Pamela ever did the same thing. Okay. When? I missed that one. But she ain't run nothing. Biden still ran stuff, and she was just running for election. What is you talking about? Biden never stepped down. He was still the president. And all she was a candidate to run for president. What the hell are you talking about? Bro, she didn't have run none but for 3 months. What are you talking? Okay, all right, okay. I don't got that. Unbelievable. He said she took over because she was campaigning for president. You can't make this shit up. Campaigning for president is not the president, bro. He was still the president. What the hell? He said she took over. K-Mac, I got respect for you, but bro, stop, okay? She didn't run nothing, bro. She was running for office, but she didn't run nothing. As many of us, that's what we complain about. We said she shouldn't have ran for office unless he stepped down and let her be the president. She can't run nothing unless he stepped down. That's it. And she cannot bring all them people in 3 months. But whatever, bro. I don't know what the hell you talk about. A vice president can't do none of that. Vice president can't run nothing, bro. A vice president can't sign nothing that the president is supposed to sign. The only way the vice president can do something if the president step down and make the vice president president. You got to be the president. The vice president, no. Harris had no say so in Washington. Stop making stuff up because you don't know what you're seeing. Stop making shit up. She was on the campaign trail and he was in Washington. Unbelievable. It's so much false information out here and people that just be saying anything. It's ridiculous. So many people gonna be confused on social media with so much false information. And sometimes when they don't like nobody, they just start putting all kind of tags on them. That it's all right if you don't like her, but just like don't be saying no false information. Just say why you don't like her. Don't be talking about she took over. There's no such thing as run things. That just doesn't exist. On top of that, even Biden don't have nothing to do with them being all over the country. The governor of Texas put them on planes and sent them all over the country. What the hell? Which people seem to give him a pass. It's amazing how they give. It's amazing how they give the Texas governor a pass for being a traitor to the country. Because right here, Texas Governor App has transported 119,000 migrants to sanctuary cities across the U.S. since 2022 to provide relief to overwhelmed border communities. Funded by state taxpayers, the program primarily used charter buses, but has also utilized flights to transport individuals to cities including Chicago, Washington, D.C., and New York. So Greg Abbott sent all the migrants to Chicago, Washington, and New York. There's no way they could have got here from, goddamn it, from the border down there. So if you're going to tell the story right. It was Greg Abbott that spread migrants all over this country because he was mad because Biden wouldn't stop him from coming into Texas, basically. And it was Biden that was supposed to go to Texas and put them out in Texas. Biden was supposed to send National Guards and troops to Texas and put them people out. Harris did not fly them people to Chicago, New York, but stop it. Or have them cross the border. They crossed the border because Biden stopped building the wall. That's why they crossed the border. Because Biden stopped building the wall. If he would have kept building the wall, they wouldn't have been able to come across. A lot of people don't know a lot of that border is wide open. That's why Trump wanted to build a wall. It's wide open. It's wide open. You just run across the Rio Grande and come right into the country. And Trump was building the wall, and stupid ass Biden, the one got in there and stopped building the wall. And nobody said nothing. And that was a violation because American president, you can run against somebody, but you're not supposed to flip on the other president and put the country at risk like that. Biden was one of the worst presidents in U.S. history. He undid everything Obama did. He helped fill the country with illegal immigrants. He was asleep all the time. He couldn't do a good job. He didn't know where he was at or none of that. Biden was one of the worst presidents in U.S. history because he was too damn old. He was too old and senile. And nobody made him sit down. Should have made him sit down. It was clear he couldn't do the job. The Congress and the Senate blew that. Because they got the power to say, listen, Mr. President, you can't do the job. Sit your ass down. They just left that man in there. That man was falling down, falling out, walking, lost. And they just let him stay in there. They let him stay in there. And he was totally incompetent. He ruined everything. Yes, Joe Biden. Joe Biden made all this mess. Like, we're gonna tell the story. We're gonna tell the truth. We're not gonna make up no stuff. Because remember, they said Barack Obama was mean because he was throwing the migrants out. Facts. One thing about me, I'm not going to let no false information go across. Boom. Yes, the Obama administration built and used the chain link enclosure at the southern border that critics calmly refer to as cages. While it is true that these facilities existed and held migrants during Barack Obama's presidency, the policies dictated who was placed in them significantly between his administration and the subsequent Trump administration. He was throwing them the hell out of here. Biden got in there and let them all in. Tom Homan, that runs ICE, worked for Barack Obama. You understand? I don't know. I can't believe. I don't just believe in what anybody posts. So I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't just listen to anybody type over here. The internet is full of lies and confusion. And I do not listen to anybody, just anybody on the internet. The internet is a misinformation central. Just because you come over here and type something, I'm not leaving it up. I got Instagram, I got all that. You should see the information on the Instagram. And now they even posting fake AI pictures. Not only do they make up a story, now they use AI to show a news clip from the fake story. That's how bad it is. As a fact. You got to really watch out for misinformation on social media. You can't come over here and say nothing to me that I can't verify. There's no way I can verify what Donald Trump let no Venezuelans in here. And we're not going to talk to me like I ain't been watching all this every day. I've been watching this every day, and I remember exactly when the Venezuelans started coming across that border. And that was during the Biden administration. That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. That was during the Biden administration. 100% facts. That was not during the Trump administration. That was Biden. Where they was coming at night. Because I got a friend who got a family relative that came. Now, this is Big Pharaoh. I got a friend who a family relative came. And that relative said that the cartels was bringing them from all the way down to Venezuela, all the way up. And they was bringing all kind of South Americans. And that they told them, don't talk so that everybody would think you are Venezuelan. First off, them people was not all Venezuelans. Facts. You want put up 10,000. Put up, yeah, because I'm a raise a stake when I know for sure I'm going to put up 10,000, and I could have somebody come, hold the money, and I could bring somebody that came. And he told this person that they bought them up, and they had to cross all kind of rivers and stuff, and they had places to stay after they walked so far. These places was owned by the cartels. And so the cartels would guide them. They would come so far, they would go stay at these places that the cartels ran, get some rest, right? And then they would come further, get some rest, come further. And this is under the Biden administration. And then once they would get up close by the border, like if the border's right here, they would stay back here. And at night, certain border patrol was there. And he said they had a mark that was on their wrist that when they would get to the border patrol, all they had to do was show that mark and they would let them across at night. And then there was buses and churches that they would hide them in. Those videos are out too. Where they would put them in these buses, and they would take them to these churches. And then from there, when the morning come in the day, they start distributing them around the country. And they had to not talk, so wouldn't nobody know they wasn't Venezuelans, because they was not all Venezuelans. They was not all Venezuelans. And I know somebody whose family member came. This is firsthand information. And this is how they came up. The cartels brought them up. And there was certain border patrol. And they had ankle monitors. They sure did. They sure did. They had ankle monitors. They sure did. They had ankle monitors. Real talk. And then before the Texas governor, and then they had planes that they had ways to put them. They was putting them on planes and flying them up in the country. I swear to God, they was putting them on planes and buses and stuff and flying them. I swear to God. And I had told y'all that. I told y'all all that. I told you that it was people in the government getting as many people as they can out of Venezuela. And I told you what, they was once they get them up here, they was gonna go what and take Venezuela. What just happened? I'll be getting credit. Before America invaded Venezuela, didn't I tell y'all that 2 years ago? Didn't I tell you they was moving a lot of Venezuelans out the way to go back down there and take it and take all them fruit and all that land and then send them back down there under U.S. rule? I told y'all that. And sure enough, when it happened, nobody said nothing. Nobody said, you told us. Did not Trump just invade Venezuela? I told you. You don't think it's peculiar that Venezuelans came up this way and then they invaded Venezuela and once they got them up this way? You know, I also think it's peculiar that all of Venezuelans is gone. Ask somebody in Chicago. There ain't nothing but a handful of Venezuelans left. All the Venezuelans have disappeared, but a handful. Prove me wrong. Where all the Venezuelans that was in them hotels in New York, that was in Chicago, and where they at? You don't see no more Venezuelans nowhere. Am I lying? Remember they were showing Venezuelans everywhere trying to get food. Where they at? You ever notice they just disappeared? They disappeared. Back down there to work. They just y'all ain't noticed no more Venezuelans. No more government aid to Venezuela. No more hotels for Venezuela. No more Venezuelans sleeping at police stations. No more Venezuelans sleeping at school. Where they at? No talk of no Venezuelan gang wars or nothing. There's a handful of Venezuelans in Chicago causing problems. But where are all those Venezuelans? Where they at? It was a lot of them. There's no way they got. They gone. They just vanished. You don't hear nothing about no Venezuelans in New York. You don't hear nothing about no Venezuelans in Washington, D.C. or Chicago. You don't hear nothing. I'm in Chicago. I don't hear nothing about no Venezuelans. Just a few that live on the south side, on the southeast. I hear about them. Other than that, I don't see no Venezuelans or hear nothing about no Venezuelans. I don't hear nothing about. Y'all hear anything about Venezuelans? And you don't see ICE grabbing no Venezuelans. I'm just saying, ICE is grabbing immigrants, but not no whole bunch of Venezuelans. We're not doing false information, really. You want them conspiracy weirdos. And conspiracy people just be making shit up. And I don't listen to conspiracy people. Because the conspiracy experts push the most untrue stories ever. They always know, and it all be false. There's a group of people that they like conspiracy, and they'll just say anything, as long as it sounds like a conspiracy. Their whole thing is to say something that nobody else don't know this. Nobody know it because it's false. Ain't no Venezuela. They gone. They back in Venezuela. And then it wasn't all Venezuelans. I told you they wasn't all Venezuelans. They told them don't talk. They just told us they was Venezuelans. Them people wasn't all Venezuelans. There was anybody that would pay the cartels to go on that trail to get to the border. Anybody. Because the person I'm talking about was not a Venezuelan. And they told him, don't talk because everybody needs to think you're a Venezuelan. You can't make this up. You think I'm just making that up? That's too much detail to make up. They told dude and everybody in the line and that was coming up because they had like one long line and then the next guides would have another long group of them. I mean, hundreds in each group, and they kept it spread out so that like once they would go to the campsite and stay a day or two, and then they go, then it's enough time for when the next group come, they come and go. They would bring them up in sets, and they was not all Venezuelan. They told them, "Don't talk, because we don't want nobody to know that you're not a Venezuelan," which probably might have had something to do with the cartels. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if you're from the wrong country and the other country beefing with you, it might be dangerous. I don't know why they told them that. Probably for something like that, because down there certain countries don't like the other ones. So maybe the Venezuelans was the only one ain't nobody beefing with, because they beef heavy down there, right? So if you're a Nicaraguan, you might not want to tell the Mexicans you a Nicaraguan. You know what I'm saying? I don't know I don't know. I'm just guessing on that part. But they sure told them don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. Don't talk. Because the guides is telling everybody that y'all are Venezuelans. That's what I was told. Don't talk because we telling everybody you're Venezuelans. And I told y'all they displaced them, stole their land, invaded, and sent them back. And I said, I seen that. I seen it. I said they finna take them people land. Even when they went down there and invaded and had the explosion and all that and grabbed the president and all that, that was all set up. That president knew they was coming. They didn't hurt him. They paid him. Y'all really believe they went down there and just grabbed the Venezuelan president and it was no. That was arranged. He's somewhere chilling. They probably gave him $1 billion. Ain't no telling what they paid the Venezuelan president. That was arranged. How they go in there and do all that in 15 minutes? Right. They went in there and grabbed him in 15 minutes and was gone. Somebody was a war. Like a 7-minute war, 15-minute war. I tell you. And then all of a sudden, no Venezuelans. Nowhere. Because it was temporary anyway, because anybody with any sense know that if Venezuelans stay in Chicago, New York, Washington, D.C., they're going to die from pneumonia. They can't leave Venezuela and go up in no cold city. They're going to get sick. They ain't had no shots, no vaccinations or nothing. Come on, man. That was a play. Yeah, that was an arrangement. That was set up when they left. Get them out and go take it. That was a play. I mean, it was obvious. Yeah, that was a play. That wasn't real. That wasn't real. That was a play. Watch this. Let me show y'all something. Let me see if I can find it. Is it here? Watch this. Uh, Man, I got this stuff all over the place. I can't even find nothing. I can't even find what I'm looking for. Too much information on this computer. Hold on, I'm gonna show you though. Uh, Dang man. I can't find what I'm looking for. No. Mm-mm-mm. I can't find what I'm looking for. Uh, oh, it might be right here. Yeah, I think this is it. Is this it? I gotta go fix this stuff. I showed y'all this picture right here. Remember I said, look at this picture. This for all this happened. I said, look at this picture. Then I said, look to the left, what you see. I said, a whole bunch of banana trees and greenery. I said, look to the right, what do you see? A whole bunch of greenery. I told y'all, I said, America's having a hard time with its crops. They lost this whole peach crop in Georgia because it got too cold. Once the peaches start sprouting, they've been losing their crops in California because of the weather, and they need more places to grow food. And I told y'all they was going to trick them people to come north, and they was going to go take that land. They got you thinking they trying to take that land for just for oil. No. And I told y'all they trying to take that land. They're going to have the Venezuelans come this way. This is before any of that happened. I said they're going to take that land. They're going to send them back. And I told y'all when they send them back, when they get back to Venezuela, Venezuela was going to be sun-kissed. Because I still got the pictures. That's what I told you. I said when they get back to Venezuela, Venezuela going to be owned by sun-kissed, Blue Diamond. Let me show the pictures that I used. I used these pictures. That's what I remember I told my audience. And Chiquita Banana. And them people was going to go back and their land was going to be gone and they're going to build them some houses on them plantations. And they're going to live on the Chiquita Banana plantation. They're going to live on the Blue Diamond Almond Plantation, the Sun Kids Plantation, and all the other stuff. The stuff that they make the tequila out of, all that. And they're gonna be saying, my grandmother used to live here, but it's gonna be Sun Kids. Oh, grandfather used to live here. It's gonna be Chiquita Bananas because they need more room to grow because the environment is going to make them be able to grow less food. And not only did that come true, look at the environment today. Look today. What just happened in Venezuela? Disaster. What's happening all across the U.S.? Floods, storms. They losing more and more land. Yeah, they're going to make them go back to work because they need, I said, let's say they need 100,000 bananas. And they grow 200,000 bananas, only end up with 50. So if they're going to only end up with 50, they're going to have to grow 4,000 bananas to end up with the 10,000. They're going because they losing so many crops, they're going to have to double and triple how much they plant so that when the natural disaster stuff happen, they still have what they absolutely need. They're not going to be able to grow the same amount. They're going to have to quadruple what they grow so that when all these natural disasters come, they still got enough. I told y'all that. And then look, they're not just doing that. What I found out is they actually making fruit. They making strawberries, fake strawberries and stuff. Not only do they need, they is making oranges, strawberries, watermelons, and everything. Y'all seen them watermelons they making the bin? I didn't know that part. They ain't got enough food. They run it. Boy, listen, you better start growing sprouts. You better figure it out. Listen to nature talking while I'm talking. I know you hear it. Do nature sound happy right now? That sound like a happy sound? And let me tell you something. It ain't been thundering in Chicago like that in years. It have not been doing that in years. You think I'm lying? It ain't been doing that. Y'all been watching me how long? Have y'all heard that before? No. It ain't been doing stuff like that since, listen, that has not been happening. That ain't been happening in a long time. It was so hot and muggy today that it was crazy. So like I'm going to end this, I'm going to have to go watch Max because I need to find out what's going on. Okay? So I need to go watch Max to make sure I'm safe. So I'm finna, you know what I'm saying? Y'all need to go. This is who you need to go watch. You need to go watch Max so you know what's going on. Is he live right now? Nope, he not live. Maybe he out of town. It ain't. Yeah, he probably out of town because he not live. Yeah, he not live. But this is who you need to watch. All y'all need to go to YouTube and subscribe to Max Velocity. Anytime there's any storm or anything or any bad weather, make sure you turn this on, listen to it. Trust me what I'm telling you. That's thunder and lightning. And it ain't no happy thunder and lightning either. It's been as a matter of fact, two ladies was getting put in an ambulance when I went to the store. I guess heat exhaustion or something. I ain't never seen two. They had the ambulance. They had to put both ladies. There was some kind of Islamic ladies or something, Indian or something, all wrapped up, and they had to put them. They was putting them in the ambulance. Had the thing on their mouth and all that. And I was like, it's not that hot. And I walked to the bank and the store and stuff. Then when I left the store and walking, I said, oh, I could smell the humidity. I said, oh yeah, it is. It was thick. It was thick. But because I'm slim and in shape and work out and I'm plant based, I'm not gonna get as hot as people that don't eat right. So it took a little while for me to really go, oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? What's up, 7 cents? It took a little while. But the environment's acting crazy. There's ticks everywhere. People is dropping from this some kind of virus is going around, right? Y'all heard about that? Y'all heard about that virus going around? Huh? Y'all heard about that intestinal virus? They don't really know what it is. Y'all heard about that? They don't know what it is. The Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, rather than the local Washington C. Health Department alone, is tracking a multi state cyclosporisis outbreak that has sickened at least 145 people across 17 U.S. states and Washington, D.C. So if it's sickened 145 people, I mean thousands got it. That was a young lady I was talking to today, and she had a mask on. And she was talking about it was an event going on. She was a young girl. She says the event going on with her family. She don't know if she's gonna be able to go. She's gonna have to wear a mask. And now I'm thinking about it. What the hell did she have? She probably had this. She said her throat was hurting real bad. I'm standing there talking to her like a fool. The outbreak is caused by Cyclospora continensis, a microscopic single cell intestinal parasite. It typically spreads when people consume water or fresh produce contaminated with human feces, where they got these people out here picking this fruit and stuff. And when they got to use the restroom, they're using it right out there in the fruits and vegetables. Facts. Because you got these third world people where you don't got to pay them that much. And you got them all day out there picking food. And they're not going to walk to no bathroom. They're going to use the bathroom right there where you growing the food. And now that stuff is all in the food and spread. 145 domestic cases, 20 hospitalizations reported due to severe symptoms. Not no deaths yet. New York has been hit the hardest, though a massive spike of over 120 unlinked cases is also surging in Michigan. Demographics show patients range from 5 to 86 years old, with women making up 61% of the cases. Symptoms to watch for. Symptoms usually appear about a week after ingesting the parasite. If left untreated, the antibiotic, the illness can linger for a few days to more than a month. Frequent watering and sometimes explosive diarrhea, severe abdominal cramps and stomach pain, bloating, gas, nausea, extreme fatigue, and significant weight loss. Now, let me tell you something real crazy. Real crazy. I swear on everything. Watch this. I'm going to tell y'all something real crazy. Watch this. Y'all ain't going to believe this. On everything I love, last week, I had this gut cleanse, right? On everything I love, this is tripping me out. So like last week, some told me, start doing a parasite cleanse. I swear on everything. I didn't know nothing about none of this. So like last week, someone told me, do a parasite cleanse. So I had this Guru Nada parasite cleanse. First, you take the first half, which is wormwood. Then you wait an hour. Then you take the fulvic acid on everything. So I started taking it, right? I used it up, so I got a new one. I just got this new one, right? On everything. And usually when I take it, I was just taking it once. So I'll take it like once and that's it. And I might not take it for a couple months. But some say, read it. So I read it. I studied it, said you should do it for 30 days. So I said, okay, I'll do it for 30 days. So I've been doing this now for like 7 days. Out the blue. What y'all think about that? This one is the wormwood with the clove. You take this one first. Hold on, let me get a good shot. You take this one first. And then you wait, right? You wait an hour. And then you take the fulvic, right? Now, here go the thing. You take the fulvic acid. Right, I'm going to get a good shot so you can go back and snap a shot. Go back to 2 hours on this video and you can see it. Wait, I want to make sure you see how it's spelled and everything. The camera be tripping. Oh, there we go. Fulvic acid, right? Now, here's what's crazy. So, I don't know if it worked because I probably doubt if I got worms like that. And you wouldn't know if it worked or anything like you might if you're full of worms. but I be drinking cold water and different stuff anyway. My point is, G Rod, why did my intuition out the blue tell me last week to start taking this? And why was my intuition so strong that I never took it for 30 days, that I decided to take it for 30 days so seriously that the one I had I went through, and this is the new one. Because the one I had didn't have nothing but half in there. I used that, and this is the new one. So y'all answer me this. Considering what we just read, what in the world made me start taking this? You tell me. I'm just asking y'all because it's really tripped out to me. Think about that. Because I really haven't spoke on this outbreak or nothing or looked into it, but I just happen to be talking to y'all and think about, oh yeah, one conversation led to another. That's why I like when I be like freestyling like that with the conversation. So answer me something. I just read this because I didn't really know no details. I was just hearing things about it. Right? So I just read this. Right? And I just read that it's some produce. Right? And that it's from a parasite. Symptoms usually appear about 1 week after ingesting the parasite. Now, y'all tell me some of my tripping. Why am I doing a parasite cleanse? I'm just saying. Y'all seen it live. I really just found out that that new thing is a parasite. I didn't know what it was. We did this live. Like a lot of times we be discovering stuff live. Y'all be seeing it when I be seeing it. So now I just found out that this thing I've been hearing about on the news I haven't looked into, I just looked at it, it's a parasite. So what y'all think I was thinking when I read it's a parasite and I've been doing a parasite cleanse? And this is a new box. I just got this box like yesterday because I went through my other one. And why I decided to do it for 30 days when I've only been doing it like once and that's it. You tell me. And then why I was talking to the young lady and she had a mask on. And she said she was sick. And she said she had a sore throat. And I'm like, what kind of cold you got? And she was like, they finna have a family function, a young lady. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I always be like, young black girls, I always be drawn to them. Because she was working at a job. So I always be drawn to like young black girls. And the reason I be drawn to young black girls working, because I got like a mental thing about that, right? Because when my daughter got out of high school, she was working a summer job at Portillo's. And one day, when I went to pick her up at night at Portillo's, I didn't know if she'd seen me out there, so I walked in there. So when I walked in there and I seen my youngest child working in Portillo's, it made me, I started thinking, I wonder if people being nice to my baby, right? I started thinking about the customers, right? I wonder if the customers be nice to my baby. So ever since I went in there and seen my daughter at work at like 18, every time I every time I go to a business or something and there's a young girl working, especially a young black girl, I'd be kind of tripping. I'd be like over nice. And I'd be wondering, do they think I'm creepy or something? Because I'd be like really, really, really nice. I didn't pay attention to it at first. I had to think about why I'm doing that. And I was like, oh, yeah, because of my daughter. Because me thinking, damn, I wonder if they nice to my daughter. So I'd be real nice. It's almost like a father type vibe. So this young lady, I was telling her, drink this, do that. But I never paid attention that she was sick until now. And I'm like, she might have had that. So this is how I got to this. Because I'm thinking, damn, she might have had that. She might have gave me the virus. Then I start thinking, oh, she can't give me the virus because I'm taking a parasite cleanse. So it ain't going to stay in my body anyway. Tell me that's not crazy. You've seen it live. Because this is the new bottle. I only took it once since I get this bottle. I haven't taken my one today, this morning. Sometimes I take it in the morning, sometimes I take it at night. I'm going to take this one tonight. You understand? Tell me that's not crazy. As a matter of fact, for y'all, I'm going to take it now live. Listen, go subscribe to Vegan Intel, where I'll be talking about, you need to be up on this. Go subscribe to Vegan Intel. I'm finna take it right now live. All right, look, we're going to take it right now live. I'm only going to be able to take the first one because I got to wait an hour to take the next one. So this is the wormwood. This is the wormwood clove blend. Okay. It's also got neem extract in it. You can't take neem oil. Neem oil is not good for your stomach, but neem extract. This is wormwood with cloves with neem extract. This is step one. You can get this on Amazon, right? So this is how you take it. I'm going to take this. I'm going to get a dropper full of it. You see? It's like an oil, right? It's an oil. Put the oil in there. You can get it at Walmart. You get it a lot of places. You can get it straight from the company. You can go straight to the company. Hold on. You can go straight to the company. So you can go straight to the company and get it. If you just want to make sure you got to be careful on Amazon because sometimes people have been going on Amazon with fake products. So if you go on Amazon and buy something, make sure you click the thing to go to it, make sure it's really their shop. Okay. So you can go right here and get it. Right here. Right? There you go right there. You can go right here, gut cleanse with wormwood, $29.99. Okay. If you want to make sure you get the real one, I would go to the website. But if you go to Amazon and you go to like if you go today, anytime you go, hold on, let me show you. This is what you always make sure you do. If you go to Amazon, right? Hold on, let me show you. If you go to Amazon, right? Let me show y'all something. If you go to Amazon and you click on a product like this, right? Y'all seeing that? If you click on a product like that, always check. Oh, this is the wrong page. Hold on. There we go. If you go there, always go. You see right under there? You see right here? Always hit the store. And then you hit the store, that's how you know it's the real product because they be having fake products. So always hit the store. Now over here it's only $19. So you could go there and get it. You could go get it from Amazon. But at least you know it's really the store. So if you get some to Amazon, always make sure it's the store by clicking this button right here, visit the store. Boom. Always do that. Because if not, people have been known to put fake products over there. Maybe Amazon been working on it, maybe not. So I put it in there. I'm mixing it up so the oil will mix in. You can see the oil bubbles. See those bubbles? That's the oil. You know, oil and water don't mix. But you just won't want it floating on the top. Then you drink it down. And then you wait an hour. You wait an hour. That's the wormwood. You can taste it. You wait an hour. And then after an hour, I'm going to go and I'm going to take the fulvic acid. Don't eat after you take this, and you should take the first one, have some food, be an 8 or something that day. Like being an 8 within an hour or two, have some food on your stomach and take that one. Then you wait 60 minutes. Then after you take this one, then you can eat or drink. Don't eat and drink on top of the first one. The instructions tell y'all don't eat and drink on top of the wormwood. But after you wait, that goes in, then you take this. And this is going to be the binder, right? It's got the trace metals. Because when you go to get rid of parasites and they feel you're trying to kill them, they dump eggs in your body. They dump eggs. They dump eggs in your body. Yeah. So you just can't take a parasite cleanse. You can't just take a parasite cleanse because when the parasites panic that you're trying to unalive them, they'll dump their eggs in your body because they want to survive. So then you got to take a binder that'll get all them eggs and stuff and get them out. And like I said, go subscribe to. Yeah, you need a binder. Go subscribe to a Vegan Intel. I'm gonna be talking about that next week. You know, and I'm gonna be showing the activated charcoal and all that because I got activated charcoal too. That you can also brush your teeth with the activated charcoal if you're trying to get your teeth white. You know what I'm saying? You need the binder with it for sure. You know what I'm saying? So go over and subscribe to Vegan Intel. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Go subscribe to Vegan Intel because I'm not doing any of that information over here, but we just so happen to go that route. So go to Vegan Intel, subscribe over there, and they get a lot of information over there. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be talking about this next week. Okay, health is wealth. So get on that. Get on your health. You know what I'm saying? I moved everything over there uh, so I could target, you know, that audience. But that's crazy because that young lady, she might got that. She might got that parasite. Now I'm thinking about it. So we're gonna keep our eye on that parasite. I'll be covering it on this the news if it get crazy. But make sure you tune in to this the news because it's crazy. A lot is going on. I'll be here the next couple of days. Maybe tomorrow I might skip. I might try to squeeze it in because I'm doing a lot of stuff based on reparations and this whole 250th birthday of the nation, which I'm gonna be talking about later on tonight too. I'm putting in some heavy hours, so I'm gonna be talking about that too in a minute. But if you do go out, be aware of that parasite. Like, don't be touching a lot of stuff. Wash your hands. Don't be putting your hands all in your face. I'm just telling you. Because they don't tell her what that is. They don't tell her what the parasite is. And I don't know how human waste got on the food and it spread like that. I guess human waste got on the food, somebody get the virus, then they start spreading the virus. Because if it get on the food, it's gonna be on the food might get distributed a lot of places. So many people get the virus and then they spread the virus, which is terrifying. You know what I'm saying? That's just the world we live in. I've been wearing my mask a lot, and I ain't been going to the gym in the summertime. You know what I'm saying? Because it's packed, and I'm not 100% cool with the viruses. I believe the viruses is out here. So I've been working out only at home. And if I do go to the gym, I only go to the gym at like 5, 6 in the morning. If I can't get in there before 7, because 7, all the early morning people come in before they go to work, but the gym get empty at like a quarter to 9 because everybody going to work. So I'll come at 8:30, 9, but I do never go to the gym when it's crowded because I just ain't comfortable with it right now. I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable with all them people breathing and coughing and touching on stuff. Not right now. And I always go by my instinct. I'm not comfortable. I'm just not comfortable. Things just don't seem right. Things seem dirty, and things just don't seem right. You know what I'm saying? I can't put my finger on it, but I always go with my instinct. There's too many people back and forth. There's too many different things coming. They doing too much weird stuff sexually. They're eating all kind of weird stuff. You know, people is eating weird stuff and a lot of it. And people is consuming a lot of animal products. You know what I mean? Yeah, people coughing everywhere, and they eating a lot of abominations. They eating a lot of things that common sense would tell you ain't supposed to be eating. And it's just amazing how they have brainwashed the public like that. You know what I'm saying? And at any time I could still get sick or get it too. But the only difference is I'm constantly consuming healing products. I'm constantly cooking with oregano. I'm constantly eating cayenne pepper. I'm constantly making sure limes. I'm constantly making sure that I'm eating things uh, that constantly have healing effects, even with my regular food. Even with my regular food, I make sure I'm putting thyme on it, oregano. I'm making sure I consume so much salt. I'm increasing my salt intake because they lying about the salt, but then that you ain't using natural salt. I'm gonna talk about that too, right? Because you really need salt to hydrate. You know what I'm saying? When you drink water, if it ain't no salt with it, it ain't gonna hydrate you. They ain't tell you all that, but you need the right kind of salt that ain't got all them trace minerals in it. I mean, got that ain't. I mean, got all them toxins in it. You want the trace minerals, but you don't want all of those. A lot of salt got stuff in it because the way they where they mining it and stuff at, it's got some salt got metal in it, and all, you ain't gonna believe it. So I had to clean up my salts on my soul. There's only certain salts I consume because the other ones, a lot of them got metal in it. Real talk. So yeah, follow me on Vegan Intel. I just ordered a skillet. You know what I'm saying? Right? So I just ordered a titanium skillet because I don't want no leaching. I just ordered a titanium cutting board because I don't want no leaching. I'm stepping it up to the next level. Now I use cast iron and stuff, but uh, I'm gonna be using my titanium uh, a lot. You know what I'm saying? Uh, is there other things to detox heavy metals? Yeah, there's other uh, 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 things. You know what I'm saying? Other things that you should be using, right? I'll show you. Well, let me go get it. Hold on. Yeah, there's other things. Make sure y'all subscribe to Vegan Intel Channel. Activated charcoal. I've been using this to brush my teeth to get my teeth back really white. Activated charcoal is good for brushing your teeth. I'm gonna show you what I mixed that with too, because I'm trying to get my teeth back white. But this activated charcoal, this is a great binder right here. It's made from coconut shells. So its activated charcoal is a fine black, odorless, and tasteless powder made from coconut shells or other materials that have been exposed to very high temperature in an airless environment. It is then treated or activated to increase its absorbent ability. In the natural product industry, activated charcoal is used for general body detox, digestive cleansing, face mask, and food coloring. So this one is pure activated charcoal powder derived from natural coconut shells. And this is a binder, right? That I'm going to be taking tomorrow. I haven't took it yet because I just been letting that do the work. Now tomorrow, when I do this in the morning, I'm going to wait. And then after I take the fulvic acid, I'm going to wait about 30, 40 minutes or an hour. And then I'm going to drink some of this and take some of this to double up on the binding. But this is good to brush your teeth with too. right? So this is a good one, right? And there's other ones. Like I said, so follow me on Vegan Intel because since I've heard about this parasite, you already know how I'm finna go. So as soon as this holiday is over, tomorrow, Sunday on Vegan Intel, and Monday, I'm gonna be talking about all that so everybody can really uh, protect themselves depending on what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be talking about that tomorrow. I'll also be showing you the stuff for your teeth and all that too this week. I need to write this down because I'll be forgot. I'll be the got into something else and be the cleared this right out of my mind. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'll get on the phone and be talking to people and be the forgot. But it's just really crazy, y'all, that I just out the blue decided to do an extensive detox. I don't know why. And that's your guardian angel. Then that's why you got to be in tune and really eat right, or you ain't gonna even get your signals. So if I wasn't clean, I wouldn't even get my signals. So I've been changing everything. Like, I've been going with glass. I've been stepping it up to the next level. And the only thing I got left is I got a stainless steel coffee to make my coffee. And all I'm trying to do is get my coffee right the way I like it. So I don't got to be drinking out that Starbucks cup. So that's the next thing I've been working on. How I get my coffee right. You know what I'm saying? I'm almost there. I get my coffee right. I got stainless steel everything. I just got a stainless steel uh, food processor. So I got a stainless steel food processor. So I'm finna be making my own protein powder from scratch, fresh. I'm basically getting ready to be eliminating everybody and everything. I'm gonna be making it myself. Real talk. I'm gonna eliminate because I know I ain't doing no more plastics. I've been struggling with that, but that's been coming along. Finding my products in glass, right? So I've been really going to the next level. But y'all be careful because that parasite is out there. Be careful, you know what I'm saying? But don't be scared. Go enjoy your life, but just be careful. You know what I'm saying? Like wash your hands and like drink stuff that's constantly you feel like cleaning. You'll finally go out, cool, come back in, get a pitcher, put some fresh water in there, squeeze some limes in there, right? Maybe a little maple syrup, and and put the pulp in there. Get the kids and the wife, and y'all just drink a little glass of limeade or lemonade before you go to bed. You know what I'm saying? Something that's got some type of medicinal. Limes and lemons, like keep some limes and lemons and get used to drinking that. Something. And when you cooking, if you put some little bit of cayenne when you cooking, you won't taste it. You only taste it if you put a lot. But if you put a little, you won't taste it. But it's gonna go in there and it's gonna be doing what it's due. And then get some vegan gel caps. and like put cayenne in them and just give them to the kids. They won't taste the cayenne, so the cayenne going there, And if it's any worms or anything, that cayenne touch it is coming out. Because I'm telling you, like they trying to process too much food for humans. So now they doing all kind of weird stuff to meet the demand. I mean, it's just common sense. They doing too much weird stuff to meet the demand. I was just talking to a friend, and it's like, we going to farmers markets. Like this other stuff is out of here. Farmers markets, you know, because it's hard to find food with seeds and all of that. So yeah, go make sure you subscribe to Vegan Intel. Stay positive, but go and subscribe to Vegan Intel. Victory.